Now this is my KJV, and let me put a that'll work as a bookmarker. It's the one I got from the Mormons, and I promptly scratched out Latter-day Saints and put an icon there. And this is not the one I use for documentary hypothesis. As you can tell, it's not, doesn't have all the different highlights in it. And this is Exodus, and it's all marked up. You know, I read through it a bunch of times. I don't know what's going on with my lens, but I was asked about the historicity of Exodus. And this is something that always puzzles me. I'd get questions like, not even questions, just accusations. How can you say that Moses didn't exist? Or how can you say that Abraham didn't exist? Or how could you say Joseph didn't exist? Or how can you say Jacob didn't exist? Now, just because I agree with documentary hypothesis, and I see a lot of value in it, right? I need to unequivocally state that Exodus, I believe Exodus, absolutely happened. The plagues of Egypt, leaving Egypt, I mean, it's a historical fact that they left Egypt, right? We see the Israelites being talked about on the stelae. We know about the Hyksos coming in, and then the Hyksos leaving, and the Apiru. These were the Israelites. And if you see, I actually agree with the Exodus Decoded by Simcha Jakubowicz that the plagues of Egypt actually match natural phenomenon. Now, as for the pillar of fire and stuff like that, I think there was I don't think it was some, maybe that was from a different documentary, but I think the pillar of fire was an actual pillar of fire coming down from heavens or whatever, and that the mountain was on fire. And I do believe that Simcha Jakubowicz actually found Mount Sinai, the actual Mount Sinai. Ron White is an idiot, or Ron Wyatt, whatever his name is, he's an idiot. But I think Simcha Jakubowicz, I don't agree with him about Paul and the lost tribes of Israel. Some of them were correct, and then others were just a stretch. But 100% the historicity of Exodus, absolutely. The shocking thing about the Old Testament is that it's accurate. Same thing with the New Testament, it's accurate. I wish that there was other things to uncover, right? Like with the New Testament, I wish there was more, like that we had the crappy copies and you could find a clearer copy that didn't have this or have that, and there's really no such thing. I mean, there's minor words or sentence fragments. It doesn't change anything though. The historicity of Exodus, yeah, 100%. 100%. And I don't know why people would get the impression that I don't believe in the historicity of something because I adhere to documentary hypothesis. I'm not Wellhausen. I already had my beliefs, and then I read Friedman, Richard Elliott Friedman, and people like that. Again, this is not an orthodox view. Or it's not a non-orthodox view. It's not a pro-orthodox view. It's a view that I hold, and I hold all the creeds and councils as well. I hold to them as well. But orthodoxy is not a mind cult or anything like that. So yeah, 100%. Absolutely, Moses led people out of Egypt, and it was probably a tsunami. It was Santorini. The destruction of Santorini is probably what caused the plagues and allowed them to get out. Alright, peace to you. I mean, I constantly talk about the Nahash tune, how that God commanded that in the Ark of the Covenant. I totally believe the Ark of the Covenant is real, and the Nahash tune was real before it was destroyed. Moses could not be a non-historical character. He had to be historical because there's so much stuff around Aaron and the children of Aaron and the Levites trying to rework all that stuff for their political ends. They could have made it up out of whole cloth, but they had to work with this guy Moses because they knew he existed. And Exodus, I think, is extremely accurate. And God used those multiple sources to give us this. Peace to you.